Yo munyina Kasiebo wamu etie bie. Ensema wodo ye na de yade asomwe yi de adi makotri bi ni.
Enei ababetodwa se ensem bi a ekoso enyina ne se aban akwakoto vaccine bi se yemfa mbewo yen coronavirus nsesem minority for egaline.
Asem bi wa sese yeba bedi ho komo Adam kuma wa mrasa badwama na mrasa badwo tia mehene akasa emusam ewo ha yebedi nkoma afa ho
na sese ensem bi abobo abase ene Ghana fix the country demonstration enwa Supreme Court kire se eye police for so a wakoje do to omo so do ye free ho no a police for akasa ama edom no wo madwalai pa
John Coulson aya convener wo de atoja se omo ne police for no ebewu ewo Ghana ha
na eno ena yeko infifriman tema akro no bobi akoso amakwamkafo akoshutu eya branche ba kubi amanawu enam so mani pamiru so eprepra
asanfofro bia babeto dwapani bi ade afutuo ade ama national security say wontu ne hofo ansa na wakwakotu abato komisafo
na nana kufu ado e Ghana mapenye de tudwa kiremu se eba huru kasema hodo ene ekunkunkukum ekoso wa Africa ha ne menteme ho ase na ECOWAS betuma gina brane aye bibi e de afa ho
Prosi inspector bia wakwa homediem wono akasa ne na wanya mfiansia wato no mona
na yebeko adiswa ho nsemu eno ena teacher for bia wono Ghana ha bebro be se empim du son 70,000 ne chire wa makotwe exams afeli protoama enibraba
ensem no adoso bebre ena yede asomo aboafo ya Kasiebo wa mu ekuramu bia omada Roma eno masoma yede somo ene den aye afa lotto wasise wunya twa wubadi wamu ekuramu ebi Dominion Herbal Center aso emu amana dedede Richard West Management wasiye Pilif Kokodro Tatare wamusu ekram ex natural mineral water asomu ebi sanso ana Ayula's gripe water ekram eye awurade for real wamo asoye mu Kasiebo yi yade asomu Ruta natural product ekutemu ebi Little George at the Kwamita at the Abba and afraid Dr. Amuzu was a Mauji here talo. This microfinance says the private for Benyabosia and a let's talk educational consult. Wadaroma and Wasoma and then you may Kasiebo at the Eba. Yaya Wati and Kay Eme Wahineba Boama Benye Mene
PSC Okra Boys Prefects Papa na ye ko Kasiebo num na wadwenkyerem betumi de aba e Facebook so Power 979 FM mo amohwe so TV so no betumi e de wadwenkyere na aba TVXYZ okwa Facebook live no etwegu ho wadwenkyere no ye bekenkan ni nyina enso e de ama o kama pa afei ye wura nsem no me
Yawura ensem no ma ne yakwadi nkomo Speaker of Parliament Alba Sumana Gbagbin wa pani kwanchefo akasa e de afa ekwan a legislature no eye aban no mrase bedafo wo mo faso a wo mo ye wo mo adwuma na wo tirem se ba bia mo aduru no wo mo hia obu osoronko se de be yo betumi de aye adwuma amana koso ye obi entietu omanim eba ne sanu a eye na emmoa Watrem say, see her a quanyam rasabajafo, and I'm so a yo majuma and the public romanim, Abuamu and Tianoa, Nayadibia entry speaker, Akasa, Yantian in some.
But the member will direct the person trying to effect the service to see the Speaker of Parliament. Where the official insists on serving the process on the member may notify the Speaker of the service, and where the Speaker has ascertained that the member is attending to the business of Parliament, the Speaker will direct that the process be returned to a registrar of the court in compliance with Article 117 of the Constitution. Where a member accepts service of a process and has entered appearance, the member is said to have become a party to an action and will thus not be covered by the immunity provided under Articles 117 and 118 of the 1992 Constitution as rightly held by the learned justice of the High Court in the case of the Republic versus Mama Yarga and others, 2019 case unreported. And 10, despite this ruling, a practice is developing between the judiciary and the legislature out of mutual respect, where the courts accept requests from Parliament to to schedule hearings on dates and time that will not clash with a plenary session of Parliament. And on a number of occasions, the courts have accepted a letter from Mr. Speaker for adjournment of matters pending in courts, subject to the convenience of the court, due to the fact that honourable members are attending to critical or urgent business of the House.
Why aya owura numonyam for Alban Sumana Kingsford Badmin. Ya wa yambra sebadwam tiame hene. Ana yate ne kan no atiri no. Ana wasan ade to dwabie mu se. Say yehwe emrase badwafo. Yo mo emrase badwam a wo mo aye adwuma. Emra no aka ne pefe. De emrase badwani etie. Sade ne nwumade etie. Ene sade kwanya ofaso a wode aye na adwuma. Enti ense obi ebu nanim tia. Wa abram emrase badwani aye na adwuma. Eba ne sanu a emwa. What him say? Atakre no 117 and 118. I can prefer a kwanya was say obi afaso and mrase badwafo eye adwuma efa.
That much still has to be done on this matter. I say this because my attention has been drawn recently to the attempts by some members of Parliament to decline or evade service of court processes and documents while Parliament was on recess, and the honourable members were not on their way to attending at or returning from any proceedings of the Parliament. This situation has led to some confrontation with court process service, while some justices have had to resort to the issuance of substituted service orders to ensure the smooth adjudication of cases before them. I also got to know that some members were arraigned before the court and charged with various offences without any notice to the Speaker of Parliament. This is an aberration and should not be repeated. The coordinate arms of government, while acting independently, must operate as an organic whole with due regard and respect to each other to ensure an equilibrium in the governance architecture and for the protection of the rule of law and the constitutional order. I want to say a few things about the scope and enforcement of Articles 117 and 118 of the Constitution. Honourable members, the operational term in Article 117 that is worth noting is that the immunity granted by the Constitution to specific functionaries of Parliament is only to be exercised when the functionary, I quote, is on his way to attending at or returning from any proceedings of Parliament, unquote. In other words, members of Parliament may only avail themselves of this immunity when Parliament is in session.
Wei ayen sama yawura Abansmana Kingsford Bagman. We ayamra sebadwam tiame hene wade atu dwa na no atere no. Ana edom kuma wamra sebadwam na no difo. Yawura Haruna Idrisu enso ede to dwa say yaba yamra mu a emra sebadwafo emmomra so. Na emom so my court ba tan ne mra nim ni bia anase bia mra sebadwani bia no ebedi no mra kwan so ana obete obi a e wo se wo fa kwan papa e kwantro dododo so ede ye na dwuma.
Position which in my view is seeking to strengthen the checks and balances within the meaning of the separation of powers envisaged in the 1992 Constitution between the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. I'm particularly happy that you have stated emphatically that this House and yourself have no intention to obstruct the administration of justice, but insisted that the letter and spirit of the Constitution in Article 117 and 118 is respected, that no process is served on the Speaker, a member of Parliament, the Clerk of Parliament, whilst we are performing our duties. Mr. Speaker, I do not intend to comment much because even parliamentary jurisprudence would have raised other critical and fundamental questions as to when a member is in the constituency, he is still exercising a function as a representative of the people in the discharge of some duties to the person in the constituency. when a member of parliament is undertaking a duty on behalf of parliament at the level of the committee, that also imposes an onerous responsibility on that member of parliament. But certainly, Mr. Speaker, there must be limitations to our quest for our immunity and privileges to be respected. We certainly are not above the law. We are entitled to be subjected to due process of the law at all times. But the judiciary, as an organ of government, which is an independent adjudicator, must respect the legislature and respect the men and women elected. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, it is our pride that apart from the president, we are the only elected representatives of the people.
Why I am some of Haruna Idris Wade Atuga. Now, what about your sons and 7 mono? And majority chief people are not done pre, and so added to just say. No crony amini, and Rano, Yanina Yabatumia Kabum, Amana Juma, and Kanka, judiciary no, legislature no, and executive no. I was some years sending out to me Kabum, a year Juma Bakua, a bet to me Abua, Amagana Akonenim.
And it's identified by law. We are distinct, but we are supposed to play a complementary role. And it's important we all bring our minds to this. The provisions in Article 117 and Article 118 is clear. We don't need any interpreter or interpretation from the law court. These things are clear. And over the years, the interpretation of it has become quite fundamental and it is known. So it is something that we don't have to hassle about. Speaker, as you narrated instances where some members who are involved in the enforcement of the law, practitioners of the law, and then members of parliament are going through a number of instances, and you've taken your time to narrate these instances. Some of them are very regrettable. And we cannot continue on this lane forever. It's important this matter has come up, but I think that the public relations department of Parliament as a corporate entity would have to take this matter up. We cannot continuously be appealing to the media to be talking about this and also educating the public. We have also an onerous responsibility to take this matter up, to educate the general public, for them to come appreciate the nuance involved in all these provisions that are found in the law. I think that this is a very important day for us as Parliament, as an institution, a very important day for us as Ghanaians, for us to come to appreciate all these matters. Many occasions these matters have come up.
Why I am summer another prayer at the Atuja princess. I return him and I'm not sure you're second seminar.
Ya to Kasiebo no so de amamo ewo TVXYZ so na yenyina mu ewo mrahye fie ho kakra na enche na coronavirus eba na ese yenyina mpa ya yebo ne se yebenya eye pane bi na ya wo se na be ya betumi aboa na yenso mu ya yenya bi no yenkokonya bi na afi aboa na amayare no atumi akofome wo man mu eti afi na vaccine ba na Ghana fo nya kakra no kra yenye scan kwankoto om de be cheye na enu eti na afi ya tete se eye pane no ya woni mprenu ni aka na aban tumi emfa eye pane ni bi ma emaye mamewo na eno ene ababeto dwa kire mu se aban to akwakoda dipa ewo abrochira achese enya sabketo akra na Norway for website bia eno no won bo adwuma pa won ma tumi de ababeto dwa se eye Sputnik V vaccine bi eno eye pane ya ye we bi na eno so betuma abo na adasa ya bo ho ban de free coronavirus yare hu aban kwakoto bi ewo abrochira se obetua $10 no aban kwa akoto ne $19 a ha adwe paye na krate anasa sa ye abefuntinta fidie a wo mochocho ye ensembegu ho bi e de ababetu dwa kire mu se eye www.vg.no ese Ghana swafo wohwe eya pomde hu nsem so me ofa kokwa agima menu e na asan krata bi a woni emiratifo mpanyifo bi e na de omsa kwa kwahye ase na asemi bae aban nyanka ho hwe e na domkuma e wo mrahye bedwefie atama semi pa kire mu se Ghana sika bekwa kwapa de omompren e ma ne nkokwa eti wo ma hyase eye hu dede na enemra hye bedwefie ne ensema ebobo ba kire mu se edom kese no afam ekire mu se enye nokre na wokọ eye mrahye bedwefie a eye baso ku a eno tena se na wonom dwedwa pomde ho nsem ho no eye health committee no penya woda no ye Dr. Yuefriye waba bekire mu se enye nokre wone TVXYZ ne power kase ebon komo ema wo kire ne nsemu sei yenkotie bi
This is you what say. what you say ubet me akonyaba je letter agreement call for Fabra besi ne musumu miensa ni a omde de di kan $19 yi FOB ma o omofa teku dama omofa hwe emai na akodu mpempen so say president o say obo bi ahoba because I say
Health Committee no one no dey same way eto yensem troni Eric Ahanyo ne Princess Arita nim one no mo edima yenso yetumi abobi amamahwe na ebimu so yetumi etie e radio so no na ranking member e committee na so I no eyedom kuma na fam yewura eye kwablamenta kando one na ranking member wo kire mu say David a wo mo te ase enye yi aban e de adanko e daada adre e okroma atena se a chese wo so mo ntena se kra ma aban emma enfofo medane ye kwaye e okroma se eti bebia no kra ni hye wonum ebekwa akwa piepia akwa kutu ama no kre na aba eti yehia committee ebeba be sa asemnu mu hwehwemu
so what I say intino eya ade bia o mo ankasa pese wonum noa na mo tena wa na issue no situation ni ba be ye kese a na fei ni akasa okay we are not in normal time that decide dey any enkoto $19 no a free say first wave buy second wave aba second wave yi buy yakoda president yakoda Minister Kwakoda. Samri, obienim the next moment mass vaccination be baso. The edika any mass vaccination. Identifiable groups being target here vaccinate one. Into mass ordinary Ghanaian that be no be vaccination need.
Na nia otia na so say bibi ko bone no. One mo akasa na.
Me one me kasa enam say mimi bibia me de be si ntin. Obisa am de minimum ho, me ka de minimum ho. Obisa say one agreement bi at the committee am say there be one agreement bia. Say na mo approve here me ka kire no. The bia me minim awo. Sa COVID-19 vaccines ya no say vaccines no no. Me ka kire no. E na ono so hwehwe mu a waye no. Ono so ebo mamane. No dey abetudwa. And then minister say o say ya no kire. Chairman say o say ya no kire. And no something no omunim say they will contradict themselves. Into omunim how to come out no. And until they are releasing empty press releases no. Until they should come out up here one pill. We'll ask some specific questions at the committee level on the floor of the house. Yeah, we have to set a bipartisan probe. I will say because Minister Dankasa complicit. Nya dey minister bit my active committee dey rest ade nim. There be. Yeah, you shame be an okran wo bia no. Now my imagine say omo dey sa COVID we be san kwan. Me no kasa yi. Omo use 19 billion Ghana cedis. Committee no to me accounted for Minister of Health to me accounted for even 1 billion. Before the committee, they were able to omo to me accounted for only 600 million Ghana cedis. Sikanenka anyway.
Ewa hiwe dwabo so mra shebedweni kwabena menta kando wonwa ene ranking member ewa basoko committee ayi wo ma to mra shebedwe fia ehwe apomudi ho nsem so wo se wo mbehwehwem
ya twaso na nansen ana asemda bi eba beto dwase Supreme Court akasa e de afa ekwanya ye betumi afa so na ya de mu e Ghana na ye Ghana fo kire pa o mani je brutal e ma ufa Ghana ntwe aso so obi abo ne nsem ede ma court ba tan se watumi ede sa hye ede aba beto dwa na se na asem no enya enwieye na eno ene de organizers ya wo mo na wo mo aye fix the country demo ede aba beto dwa se ene se aban bi kokodina ba bi ana prosifo nim no munim no mo ka so bo mo nkonko ye demonstration no a ene ye wuwu enkwankwa ene ye de bese benyasi e wo man Ghana mu esase wo ho metra ho ama bi maka okasabo amfa so mo yam wa bra yenye sa ho ama edua jumframa nkwajeje bode abetema botokura me fa nkɔwe enkodo srade wa bra yenwene nam eti ba bi aduro no on be mamra no adaba bi eda ene san wo mo tirem se sa demonstration we ye o man so on be ye no woni pa bia ne asase so ye obetumi ya se o mo so munyae ene ye de bese benyasi abrante a wono your friend John Kumson eye convener ede makuyi ene e wo dwabase dwumadie so abra kwa menka etre dwamu ene ode tudwa se